Spiel over. Let me 196. It's so easy to just babble and talk about the series. So good. All right, 196. I'm going to end this quickly. Get ready. Okay. I choose bookmark number 5. He already is using Way of the Wind. He's going to Kyrios. He's going to use electrification. Oh. He notices something. Ow. They're coming out with the guns. Whoa, surrounded. Oh. Who the heck are they? This is a misunderstanding. Please, you have to stay here. Stop it, Doksha. Miss Lee is trying to... The mom's just like... Right? Mom's just like, nope. Like, don't even say it. Right? Don't even say anything. The supporting constellation of incarnation... how do I pronounce her name? Is it Su Young? It's not Su Young, like our Su Young. It's Sugyong. So I don't want to say Sug Young. Is that right? Has revealed their modify. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Constellation Founder's mother feels profound sorrowful watching you. Time out. Constellation Founder's mother feels profound sorrowful watching you. I feel like it's not the right word to use, but gotcha. I understand. Founder's mother? My gosh, no way. Ugh, I don't know who's... Okay, thank you. Constellation Founder's mother is saying that your power is a threat to the Korean Peninsula scenario. So first for one is right. I done said too much. I don't remember what I said for the first one. So it's Sugyong. Okay. Constellation Founder's mother is saying she won't take your life if you don't fight back. Darn it. I should hurry and use miniaturization and electrification. The ancient energy of the land sealed away your power. The ancient energy of the land has sealed away your rank. I didn't expect her to do something like this. This is a stigma that can only be used within the Korean Peninsula that seals away your target's power using stories. The owner of the stigma is one of the most exalted deities of Hongik. The nebula of the Korean Peninsula. And the star of the most famous story known on this land. I told you, didn't I? The mother of Dangun, Wangyeom. Dangun Wangyeom is the legendary founder and god king of the Gojoseon. Sorry, I'm butchering this. I really do apologize. The first Korean kingdom. This looks really cool, by the way. I love you. Wow. Sorry. Ungyo. I'm struggling. Ungyo is a character in the Korean creation myth. She was a bear initially, but became a woman eventually and gave birth to Dangun Wangyeom. Hey, Barry. Because her constellation's a mama. Yeah, I was reading this. Because her constellation's a mama bear. I'll let you go when the time comes, so stay put. I think it's very profound, and what I don't want to do is jump to a conclusion, because one of my main arguments, right, is I don't want to lean to one side of the other because I don't have all of the information. I see Doksha's point of view, and I don't want to lock myself into Doksha's point of view. So I attempt to see things from his mom's point of view, but I have literally no information from her. She has given me nothing. The only information that I really have is inferred from Doksha. All I get is like sympathy sometimes, like in glimpses, sorrowfulness, like we just got from this, like sometimes. Like I get some of that, but I don't want to instantly just fall over to her side, because I still like there's Doksha's side to this, there's her side to this, and then there's the truth. And the truth also falls somewhat in the middle. Right? And right, her and the truth always falls somewhere in the middle, in between both people's perspectives of what happened, because of their viewpoints, because of their own biases and experiences shaping how they view it. Kind of her fault for not sharing her info. I understand why we're not getting the information from her. Doksha's our vessel, and Doksha won't let her tell us anything. You have to look at it from that point of view. It's like, yeah, could we say anything? It's like she would say something, but Doksha would just reject it, turn it down, or shut her up. And that's why you get something like this, where you have other people who possibly see this woman's heart and possibly see that she's not this ultimate villain that Doksha treats her as. She's made mistakes, yes. She's done things that are bad, yes. But could she ultimately be this evil, right? This evil, this horrible person, this just like, you have to think like, what, like, it's hard. It's right. It's hard to view this, but I'm looking at this. I'm looking at like the events of like this chapter and how like the showdown happened, and it makes me feel terrible, because this, at the end of the day, this is a mother and her child, right? This is a mother and her son that have conflict because of something that happened years ago, and unresolved issues that are still at the surface and still come between the two of them ever having a proper conversation. It's tough. It's like, yes, this is where it's like, it's very, I want to get back because I don't want to sidetrack. I don't want to sidetrack too much like how we did last week, because we sidetracked for 40 minutes. So I want to get my point out and then continue on. But I feel like I have to go back to last chapter and like properly get this out so I can shape, right? I can shape how I'm feeling, and I don't want to completely just look at it blindly. Leading up to this, Doksha did die. Right? He did die. He was killed. And we know that his mom was responsible for him dying. And I don't want to downplay the fact that his mom told her people to kill him, because that's a big thing. It's like, my mom killed me. But she wouldn't have done that if she didn't know he was going to come back. And the reason why I look at it that way is Doksha and her think the same exact way. That's something Doksha would have did. At the end of the day, it's something he would have did, or he would have did something similar if he was trying to get something done. So it's like, I don't want to penalize her for that and be like, she tried to kill her son. I don't want to jump off the cliff and do that, because in her own twisted, sick way, whatever, however you want to look at it, she loves her son. She knows how her son feels about her. But I had said last chapter, I wouldn't be surprised if he did somehow twisted deep down inside, did love his mom. But as the chapter went on, it's like, oh no, he don't feel that way at all. Like, I thought that before we really started to unwrap things. And she was doing that like, okay, if someone that he loves very much or loves him very much kills him, then we beat this prophecy. So I look at that as this is how Doksha and his mom are, and this is something that they would do to try to circumvent these issues that are happening. And she only knew that this was happening because Sun God went to her anyway. She had no idea this was going on. So it's like, okay, we get that there, and like we settle that. That leads us to this conversation that we're having. And I just can't help but feel, even though I don't know her side of how things go down, I can't help but feel that she does, one, love him. I think she does love him. She is trying to protect him, and she does want the best for him. however you feel about that, I do feel like those three things is something that she actually wants. But we actively know that Doksha hates his mother. We know that. And I feel like what brings that to the forefront and what makes me sad is when I look at her, I see a mother who has made a mistake, has messed up, and instead of doing what we deem the right thing, she didn't do the right thing, did something else. But now we're here, we're face to face. And any attempt that she might try to make at reconciliation or apologizing, like she's not able to do it because Doksha is just shutting her out of his life. So when how he feels about her is so twisted. When they both jump up at the end of last chapter, she's like, I'm going to lock you away because I don't want you to die. That's what I'm looking at it as. I'm doing this so you don't die. I don't want you to die. I think she understands that after she realizes that the thing is still happening, that he's still he's going to die, and it's going to be a permanent death. And I don't think she wants her child to die. That's why she's trying to protect him. But Doksha's so twisted, all he sees, anything that she's doing, is threats to him. That's why he jumps up. Anytime that Doksha has used electrification, he's bodied the person he's used it. I think he's got 100% kill rate when he uses electrification, right? Every time he uses it, someone dies. He ends up winning. This man was gonna kill his mother right here. That's what he was going to do. And that's what makes me sad, because I'm looking at a woman that wants to save her son, but because of the events of the past, Doksha's willing to go there to get away from her. That hurts. That's really sad to me. That really strikes a chord. And I see the pain of people who see this woman and the kindness that she possibly has showed them, and they're trying to plead with him whatever you think of your mom, it's not it. And the mom is don't waste your breath. I did this. This is something that I did. You're not going to get through to him. You're not going to get through to him. Nothing you say is going to change his mind. So let me just do this. And we'll move on from there. That's what hurts. Right? That's what hurts. That's what hurts. To be fair, even if she didn't know he can revive, his mom has objectively shown that she is capable of showing hostile actions to him. Yes, but then to rebuttal that, they're both working with the same information. Right? They're both working with the same information. So she knows that he knows what's going on. They're both working off of the same information. Yes, they've both done threatening things to him, but I don't think she's ever done something that was actually meant to permanently kill him. Doksha's so blinded that he can't see anything she would do as not trying to permanently take him out. So it's sad. Do I understand why Doksha would go for the kill? Yes. Does it frustrate me? Hell yeah, it does. Because he's so traumatized and he's so scarred, he can't see anything else. He can't see anything else. They're both two peas in the same pot. So they both think the same way. They both operate the same way. They both do things with ulterior motives. So everything we say about her, we have to say about him. And if we say anything negative about her, just because he's on our side, we have to look at it from someone else's point of view. He does negative things too. He's just our guy, so we roll with him. So I'm trying to look at it from both sides, and I don't just want to get locked over to one person's point of view. And I don't know. I see a person who's really messed up, right? I see a person who's really messed up, and there might not be no coming back for her. And she's just trying to operate how she can. And this man is going to do everything in his power to combat it. Yes. Previous comment. How far am I going up? I'm sorry. I was babbling. Realized Doksha's just like his mom. Never realized that. Yeah. His mother's right hand did say a child doesn't know much of their mother. It did really say true about Doksha and his mother. We don't know about his mother, just like Doksha, right? Dope discussion. Thank you. How nice of her. I know what that was for. I actually do think she's trying to protect him. I have to burp. Excuse me. But Doksha being out of the scenarios is not an option, so a fight breaking out is inevitable, right? I feel like Doksha will need to really die without reviving in order to fulfill his fate, because he died and revived, but the prophecy is still going strong. What if Doksha's mom passing away is a form of Doksha's death? That's a good point. Wow, that's a really good point. That's something I didn't think about. That's a really good point. I honestly do think Doksha's point of view and his mindset and his healing won't happen until she does die. I said that last week. I do stand on that. I don't think he'll see anything positive that she might have ever done for him until she dies. I genuinely don't think that. And I just feel like because of the type of character he is, like I know people like this in real life that hold grudges against people. I know a specific situation where someone that I know is holding a grudge against someone else that I know for something that they didn't do, but they perceive that they did do it because I've heard this person talk. But the thing that they're hating this person for, they did not do. And they're holding this grudge. And I genuinely feel like this person's not going to let go of what happens until something bad happens to the other person. The other person is older. But until something really bad happens and someone's either not here or really sick, that's when it's going to happen. And then it's going to be too late for the healing to happen. And then there's just going to be regret. I see Doksha being a character like that he's so dug in because of what happened to him that he can't see his mother any other way because of what she did to him. And it's not going to be until she dies or something tragic happens and he realizes possibly what happened for him to then open, like his eyes are open and he's just like, bro. But then it's too late for him to try to repair that relationship, and that just might be something that he just has to hold on. I see, even if that doesn't happen, I just see Doksha as a character that would happen too. Honestly wondering if they consider TBSA in the fourth wall being, and if they will somehow lead him to a death of sorts for that prophecy. He always almost overtly, I don't know what that word means. I feel like I do, but as far as the context goes, I'm lost. The role TWSA played for him. Just a thought. You know something? Yeah, he definitely. I still wonder why the constellations forced fate on him. Doksha's been playing in their face for the whole series. Doksha's tempting fate, if we're being honest. He's tempting fate. He knows too much. He's progressing too fast. It's the 9th scenario, and he's already made himself a constellation. It's an unfounded feat. So it's like he's tempting fate, and now fate is after him. That's how I'm looking at it. I understand them not wanting Doksha getting strong, but this seems like overkill. There's no way to manipulate, blackmail, or something. Something feels off to me. I mean, family drama aside, she is getting in the way of his plans. Absolutely. They don't have. I'm sorry. I was chatting. They don't have anything to blackmail him. And with Doksha playing all of them back in the disaster of Flood's part, they probably are smart enough to elk now. Yeah, they can't manipulate him. To know they can't manipulate him. Yep. Responded to that. They're threatening blackmail and the fate on them. Yeah. Electrification also increases speed, so Doksha might not have been going to kill her, but just to run away. I think he was going to kill his mother. I think he was, because it's not like he told Soo Young to all right, I'm about to grab you and we're going to get the hell out of here. Anyways, he doesn't even know how to leave here. So where is he going? That's the whole point. I don't know if he doesn't know how to leave here. I can't say that. But we're in this place outside of the scenarios and it's just is there somewhere to go? I think definitely was going for the kill. Doksha is digging his feet in on the way he views her and the world around them. He's not allowing anything else to sway those perceptions. Yes, he definitely is. 1000%. That's exactly what he's doing. He refuses to change. He refuses to change. That because if he changes, that breaks everything that he's built on, like from, right? He's built his life since that event on the grounds of what his mother did to him. So it's like if he were to change that ideal, that breaks down everything that he's done in almost his whole life that he's been able to do. So that's and especially in these scenarios right now, that's something that I don't even think he would. I don't even think that he would be able to manage that kind of mental deconstruction and rebuilding. Not during this time. So there's actually no time for it, right? He does not have time to unpack this and try to heal. That's not on the table. So if we're being like, to be weird and contradictory, like him staying stuck in his ways might end up getting him killed, yes, but it might be the best bet for everyone that's around him to keep them alive too. Heard stuff like that from Eager Miller's side all the time. I've gone along discussions, arguments, how the 10-year-old version might not be the same as the 80-year-old version of the person she has the grudge against. Yeah. He speaks reverently or Thank you. I understand now. Wonder if Doksha's psyche can handle her death even. I don't even know. He does worship TWSA 1000%. I mean, he might have just incapacitated his mom, another woman, but I don't put killing him. He popped electrification, and he's got 100% kill rate whenever he's used electrification. So it's like, I don't think whenever he uses that, it's like he I don't know. I remember he was rattled by Nirvana saying that they had killed his mother. So I don't think he'd just turn around and kill her, but I wouldn't put it past killing her, not gonna lie. I get that, but just to use another fictional thing, I'll leave other fictional series aside. I think there's a lot of stories that you can think of and that we all can think of someone having a grudge against someone that was really close to them. And if they were to die to someone else, it would bother them, but they would like to kill them themselves. I feel like this could be a situation like that. Now that he actually has the power to take control over his own life. Also, that's got to be frustrating too, that he feels like he has power now. I know it's not been stated, but it's like he has power now, and he still can't get away from this lady. She's still getting one over on him. That's got to be frustrating too. I was gonna use Sasuke, but I shut up. So yeah, the man has 100% kill rate whenever he uses electrification. So whenever he's like, I'm gonna use electrification, it's just like, what the hell are you about to do? It's like, yes, you hate this. It's like, I don't know if do I want to see him kill his mom? Hell no. But it's just like, hold on. I didn't expect her to do something like this. What did we say? I done sidetracked it. What did we say last week on his perception of people acting outside of themselves and how he can't understand it? We said that last week. That's an issue he has. He hasn't. Whenever someone acts outside of the way he perceives them, he can't understand it. So he just chooses not to understand it. Like he did it with Jean-Jacques. Like he does it with Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques starts acting differently, and he's just like, why is he acting that way? It must be X, Y, and Z. He comes up with a reason as to why it must be like this. He must be up to something. And it's just like, no, he's changing. He's legit changing. But Doksha, because he has, that's actually a good comparison, because the same deep down emotional connection that he has to his mother and the hatred he has for her, he has the same, weirdly enough, he has the same viewpoint and perception of Jean-Jacques because of his relationship with TWSA, one, and how much he's read and connected to to the character. That's what he, like, this is what he does. So whenever he's just, like, Jung-Hyuk says something, he's like, why is he doing this? Right? He's got the face on, he's like, he must be up to something. There's no way he would just give this up, yada, yada, yada. And the same way, his mom, like, he's built up this demon of his mother, and his mother is doing something that he thinks she shouldn't be doing. Why is she doing this? I didn't expect her to do something like this. Now I'm like, this is very consistent character writing, one. But two, I apply this to the future. What if there's a villain or an antagonist later on in the series that Doksha has a mindset of how this individual acts? But let's just say this individual has taken an interest in Doksha, studies Doksha, knows how Doksha acts, and starts maneuvering differently than how the series originally wrote that character. That character would be unpredictable to him, and he wouldn't know how to react to them because they should be acting like this, but they're not acting like that. Why are they not doing this? And now he has to go into double time to try to outdo this person. So I'm like, this is a flaw. It's a legit character flaw. He has a one-track mind on how things should be. And if they don't fall into that, right? If it doesn't fall into that, it completely blindsides him. He gets blindsided by it. That's why he ends up getting stuck like this. He gets sealed because he never expected his mother to seal him. Because to him, his mother doesn't love him. So when she starts doing things that look like love, he's not expecting that because he thinks she hates him. So yeah. Man. Damn it. I done did it again. Let me continue. So I feel like the fourth wall turns out to be a being in and of itself. I do think it's an actual being. I do think so. It seems to consciously act to defend his psyche whenever he's close to breaking down. That could be related to his prophecy. That's true. That is very true. But we do know that the fourth wall, from what we got from it, has a vested interest. Yeah, 1000% Barry. 1000%. Like, Doksha has the mental capacity to overcome it, but it still doesn't stop the initial blind side. And he has to then, he has to like take a step back, regather himself, think, and then move forward. But how early TWSA was, he was able to kind of like ghost step forward, where it's like, I can plan 3 or 4 steps ahead because I know what's going to happen, and the characters just fall in line because they act exactly the way the series happens. And it's like he's able to ghost step. They do something else. He's already done X, Y, and Z. But now he gets to moments like this where it's just like blindsided. Damn, now he's got to like reset, and now he comes up with a different plan and moves forward. So it's like now he's playing like this weird dance with TWSA now. He's dancing with it instead of just having it, like manipulating it to his will. He's now in like this dance that he does, that he eventually wins, but now it's getting a little dicey. It's getting a little shaky, right? It's getting a little shaky. So that's where we are right now. I was saying something, I forgot. But we know that fourth wall has a vested interest in Doksha. I don't know how it relates to the prophecy, because the fourth wall, I would assume, would want Doksha to live so that it can consume more experiences and experience more things. So would it be like, I don't know, if Doksha were to die, does he go to Tartarus? Where does he go? We don't know. I don't know. It's save this for after the chapter. Let's continue. Let's continue. This is a stigma that can only be used within the Korean peninsula that seals away your target's power using stories. We're past this. We're past this right here. We're past this. Okay. All right, let's continue. Darn it. What now? How do we get out of here? Her supporting constellation aside, how did she get her hands on the 8-beaded bell? The 8-beaded bell is one of the 3 heavenly seals that appear in the Dengun myth. It's a sacred artifact that seals away your target's power by harnessing the powers of stories. There's no way she could have gotten her hands on that at this point in time. There is a way we can get out of here. How? There's someone who can break us out of the cosmic dimension with their power. I've been saving this for where did he pull that from? I've been saving this I've been saving this for emergencies. It feels like a video game character. But I guess this counts as one. Activating Gan Pyonggui's special ability, Echo of the Stars. We haven't seen this in a minute. Echo of the Stars will allow you to seek the help of a historical constellation. I will call upon a constellation. It's been a minute since we've seen this. If I'm not mistaken, he hasn't used this. Like, damn, what scenario was this? Wasn't he wearing, was he wearing like the gray kimono thing? That's the last time we seen him use it. He used it during Peaceland 2, did he? I don't remember. But that's what the main Shattered Throne. Okay, so it was around that time. Okay. The historical constellations hear your voice flowing through the stars. He used it during Peaceland. When did he use it during Peaceland? I don't remember. Oh, says the name. The constellation is ranked too high. The constellation demands 5 points of the sky disk. Will you comply? They want all my remaining points. I only have 5 left. I'll comply. Spark. Oh. Signs of the probability storm. How can it be this bad when it's not even a fabled constellation? Your rank is currently sealed. Your main skills are currently sealed. Time remaining 100 days. A building with Starstream on it. The Dokkaebis. Use it to fight against the centipede dude. Yeah. Do not hesitate to intervene when the constellations lose interest. You are forbidden to interfere in the main scenarios, so use the sub-scenarios to intensify conflicts between characters or put them in danger. Do not create situations that might frustrate the constellations. Dokkaebi training. Keep the villains villainous and the good guys good. I'm spitting and stuff. Reminded of old times, are we? Be young. Ironic, isn't it? We criticize the constellations for obsessing over quit block progression, but this is what we teach the Dokkaebis at school. That's somewhat inappropriate for high-ranking Dokkaebi to say. You're the one who created those rules. What else can we do? He looks really cool. Scenarios like that still sell like hotcakes. High-ranking Dokkaebi, bar 'em. Why does he look like a grown person? There must be exceptions. There is. But such exceptions can only exist because of the many other scenarios that go by the book. Okay, looking at our peeps. Where Doksha at? Who's throwing garlic? What's happening? The 100-day seal. Hey, are you done yet? Survive on garlic and mugwort for 100 days. Oh, brother. It was surviving on garlic and mugwort for 100 days was the challenge that Ungyo was given in order to become human. Wow. It's too powerful, so I'm finding it hard to control. Give it some more time. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't used me as a shield. I'm telling you, I didn't mean to do that. How could you use me as a shield? I wasn't trying to kill you. The attack was aimed at that girl, but she shielded herself. Okay, so there's no way we're being mad at the mom for doing that, right? Okay, so take that off the mom's list. She didn't try to kill her son. Su Young offered him up as a freaking sacrifice. Taking that off, she didn't try to kill her son that was trying to hurt Su Young. Taking that away from her. Wasn't trying to kill you. The attack was aimed at that girl, but she shielded herself using you. Youngran told them what happened earlier. I apologized, didn't I? She said so herself. She did, though. She said so herself. What this is telling me right here is that this lady was the one that ended up killing him. And she said, I wasn't trying to kill you. Right? It's like, I wasn't trying to kill. This series, whenever it does its comedy, when it comes to these two, is what happens. Right? So whenever she was like, I wasn't trying to kill you, this little hussy over there hid behind you, and she ended up right, and she ended up getting you killed. And Soo Young's whistling like, no, I didn't. Right? No, I didn't. But what the mom is always trying to do is, so I don't want to like repeat myself too much because I hate being repeated too. She acts and she operates in the viewpoint that Doksha puts her in. So she'll she'll say things like, it's hard to explain it. She acts like Doksha. Doksha feigns sometimes whenever he does something when he didn't mean to do it, or he plans something and he doesn't mean like to do that. But it's just like, I don't know. She acts the same way, so it could be that. But then it's like last chapter, she did say, I tried to kill you because of this, and that, and yada, yada, yada. But just like, it's like, yeah, could she have meant to kill him? Sure. Was she eventually, was she gonna kill Doksha? Maybe, yeah. But from this situation, where he died and how he died wasn't meant for him to die like that. That's what I'll say that. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, last chapter, or 2 chapters ago, whenever that conversation was, the last 2 chapters, she did say, I killed you so that we could get out of the prophecy. She did say that. But then whenever we look at how he died, this lady's like, I wasn't trying to kill you. So it's like, do we take the mother at her word, or do we take this lady at her word and she's the one, right? Or she's the one where she's just like, oh, I didn't try to kill you. I don't know. I apologized, didn't I? Fine. I use it as a shield. Now what? Now you're getting mad at me? You've got to be kidding. Constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragon interrupts with a cough. Constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragon says that Soo Young never used it as a shield. Abyssal Black Flame Dragon says that he is responsible for your death. You shut up. Don't you start running your mouth. Abyssal Black Flame Dragon is telling you that Soo Young failed to protect your heart while she was trying to protect... Hold on, time out. Constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragon is telling you that Soo Young failed to protect your heart while she was trying to protect your Black Flame Dragon. What the hell does that play? What does that mean? What is his Black Flame Dragon? What is his Black Flame Dragon? Excuse me. So you see, Gionucci's attack flew toward my private part? Yes. You're pitiful enough already. If you became, you would have been even more pitiful. So I was trying to save you, but the attack ended up landing elsewhere. Abyssal Black Flame Dragon was screaming at me that I had to protect your junk. Thanks for saving my precious? But next time, just stick to protecting my heart. But why does he call your thing a Black Flame Dragon? That's the question. I don't know why. He hates Doksha. Oh, brother. Okay. Oh, man. Dog, give me more, man. Give me more. Give me more. Excuse me. Guess fourth wall doesn't cover everything. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Why does he call your thing a black flame dragon? That's ridiculous. This series always throws some sort of weird monkey wrench, curveball, funny hijink. That was funny. That was legit funny. That was legit funny. Still didn't try to kill him, though. She still didn't try to kill him, though. Could have died, yes. It's could have died, yes. Wasn't the plan, though. Black Flame Dragon was there when he was naked, so I trust the dragon when it said Doksha's packing. Good point. Good point. This is not the first time they made this joke. Go back to chapter Doksha fights a dragon, revives for the first time when skull's burnt off. Yeah. Su Young and her constellation are so chaotic, it's hilarious. Yeah. I love him dying. I love how him dying went from a serious plot point to, yeah. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Oh my goodness. That was funny. That was a good chapter. Good chapter, man. We're in a nice little 3-chapter run of goodness. I imagine Abyssal Black Flame Dragon searches for incarnation using a skill that measures people's Black Flame Dragon as one of the stats. Anything is possible. Throw your hands up at this point. Anything is possible. Can you imagine can you imagine? Save it! Save his Black Flame Dragon! And she like has to put 2 and 2 together. Right? She's putting 2 and 2 together like, what is he talking about? Not talking. Is he talking about what I think he's talking about? Do it. Do it now. And she's just like, ah. Oh man, that's got to be chaos. Bullets are flying. She's just like, all right, I'm trying to protect him. His Black Flame Dragon, protect it. Huh? Protect it. What? And it's just like, really? And it's just like yelling, do it. Oh gosh. That was funny. That's got to be such a weird thought process. It has to be. It has to be such a weird thought process. And she wasn't going to bring it up though. That's the thing. Until he started asking questions, he wasn't going to bring it up. She wasn't going to say anything. It was just going to be something that was on her mind. And he starts that's the wrong word. I'm not going to use that. He starts prying and asking questions. She's just like, what's going on? Like, why? What's the deal? What's the deal here? What's that? Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Dragon wanted to defend his incarnation. That's sweet, at least. I would give the memory away to a clone. Yeah. Drop the dime on her for real. That's a memory you give away to the clone. Absolutely. This ding dong. We still didn't get that answered, by the way. If that clone's running around or not. She just says, I gave too many memories to a clone and it pieced out. We don't know if it's dead. Whatever memory she gave away, she damn sure don't remember what it is. What if it was mad important? Like now, see, if I'm her, if she hasn't done this is what I would have done. If I had that ability and I made a clone and gave it too many memories and it just pieced out and now I don't remember like what was gone, I would legit like try to make a timeline of my life. I would. Right? I would make a timeline of my life and I would try as hard as I could to like remember everything possible and see if there was like some weird gap. Right? I would try to see if there's like a weird gap of like, damn, I don't remember nothing. Like as I'm writing it out, it's just like, I got nothing for like the years of 23 to 25. There's nothing there. Right? There's nothing here at all. So I must have gave away something in this time. What I gave away, I don't know, but it must have been something in here. I don't know. So that's something I would at least try to do. I would at least try to do that. It's probably out there wreaking havoc. This clone is probably going to come through and be something. It's either going to bite us in the ass or it's going to help us when things are like dire. Or it's going to be like Rick and Morty. What if it's like Rick and Morty? I'm saying Rick and Morty. What if it's like Rick and Morty when see, I don't watch Rick and Morty enough to understand like the plot of Rick and Morty. But well, do I want to say this? It's a really big spoiler. I don't know if I want to say it. But if you guys watched Rick and Morty, you would know. Like what I'm saying anyways. What if she gave so what's a better example? Time out. What's a better example I can use? It's on the tip of my tongue. Gamora. What if Su Yung dies and then later on in the series we get her back, but it's her clone? So she's still the same person with the same information and she still isn't a part of the story, so her and Doksha still can ebb and flow off of each other, but she's not our Su Yung. So all of like the relationship and chemistry that they have, it's not there anymore. It's only one-sided. That's the best thing. I was gonna say Rick and Morty, but Gamora is the best thing that pops in my brain when I'm thinking about it. Like, what if that? Like that, I think that would be a cool way to do that. Especially if she gave too much memory away. Like, what if she gave away a ton? Excuse me. Excuse me. That clone is absolutely going to be an important plot. Yeah, totally. Wait. Scroll up. I'm missing some. I don't doubt that she has a clone running wild. I don't doubt it either. Plot twist turns this Su Young's the fake one. Is this a twice situation? My hero people, is this a twice situation? Possibly. That idea is quite scary, to be honest. A clone of yourself running amok somewhere you don't know about and don't know what information they have. That clone is absolutely going to be the most important plot point in some future arc. Like, would you need to write your memories on a book or something? That way you'll never run out of memories, even if they die. I don't know. That's brilliant. Yeah, it is brilliant. How much of your memory can you give a clone until it's not a clone, but it has more of your memories than you do? That's crazy. That would be tragic, yeah. Wait, I just thought of something wild. What if her clone is recognized as a different Su Yung, so that clone doesn't have a supporting constellation, so the clone becomes a constellation just like Doksha did? That would be crazy. Just about to bring up twice. What if, now I'm just jumping off the deep end. What if Su Young's clone is secretive plotter? I'm just thinking of stuff. But that would be great. I think that's a great question too. How much of your memories can you give a clone until your clone's not a clone anymore? I think another thing, what happens to you if you give away too many memories? So it's like your clone become, I did. The clones can always come back together, right? Yeah, the clones can come back, but that's why I'm like, the clone must still be out there because she knows she made a clone, but she doesn't know what memory she gave it. It's not like she got like the download once the clone died. So it's like, it's still out there somewhere. But it's like, I think the clone eventually could come back and do what the clone does, like shadow clone release. I don't know. What if abyssal black flame dragon is Su Yung? I don't know. She gave it enough that it became independent, right? The clones can come back together only if the owner collects it back, right? But at what point does clone become an independent being from the original? I don't know. Is the 51% that Michael said? Could the clone be related to those dreams Su Yung mentioned, and those dreams are just the memories she gave away? maybe, but the dreams that she was saying, if I'm not mistaken, those dreams she said she was having, she said she had those dreams, but this is weird space-time stuff. She said she was having those dreams before all of this went down, and she wrote her story off of her dreams, and those dreams just happened to be TWSA 2. So it's like maybe some weird space-time Starstream continuum alternate reality. Maybe it is the memories of another clone that Soo-young made that's still out there somewhere. Maybe, but I don't know. That's how reading with the community works. We all speak BS until something makes sense. Yep. This is why I like it like this. Excuse me. Excuse me. She also did read TWSA though, yeah. And then plagiarized it. But it's just, I don't know. I had no idea. Very interesting though. I'm just wondering how, if she were to, I'm wondering if she were somehow, this is something to say. What if, I have to get this right. So I think we're all in agreement that the current Soo-young has not been able to remember everything about TBS, right? Well, first thought that I thought about that I didn't say was, what if she gave away, because she said that she read up to chapter 100, right? And that's in chapter 100, because we're in chapter 32 right now of TWSA. She read up to chapter 100, and I remember thinking whenever she said that, oh, so she's going to be around for a while. Granted, there's tons of chapters, but she's going to be around for a while. There's a lot of information that she has and a lot of story that we're going to go through that she'll be around, right? But what if she did, the memory she gave away was her knowledge of chapters 60 to 100. So our current Soo-young we have in our face has at one point in time, right? Has read up to chapter 100, but she doesn't remember. And we crossed the threshold of the memory she gave away, and she becomes a character in the series. That's something to think about, because that's what makes her so different. Is because she knows, she's aware. She's self-aware that she's, the easiest way I can think of it is her and Doksha's mom are having lucid dreams. They know they're in a series. That's what gives them the advantage. Everyone else doesn't know that they're in a series. They know that this was once a story that they read, which gives them the upper hand. But what happens to her when she isn't that anymore? Curb that. I need to remember what I was going to say. My other point, I want to come back to this really quick. And then once I'll say what I was about to say now, come back to this, and then we'll probably wrap up. But, because I want to go somewhere with that. My point that I was going to make is that there's a Soo-young clone out there. Now, we know that Soo-young can create her clones, using the Naruto method. Soo-young can create her clones, and after her am I understanding this correct? When she does the Naruto thing, right? But she has to give away her memories in order to do it. So the clones experience stuff, and then she gets the clones back, and then she learns what they learn, right? I have to confirm this because it'll change how I'm about to feel. She does the Naruto thing. Okay, so we know that she created a clone that was too powerful, and that clone is still out there. So now there's two Soo-youngs. that have a very strong conscience, possibly. Is it possible that the strong clone can somehow encounter Su Yung while she's using her clones and take her clones and bring them into herself and make her stronger and make her more Su Yung than actually Su Yung? That's a thought that I had. It's a thought that I had. Or what if the clone, because the clone is so strong, can make clones and is doing the same thing that Su Yung is doing and making itself really strong? I don't know. That's what the Mahler twins were warning us about? Yeah. This is what the Mahler twins were warning us about, right? But it's just, that's something to think about. No, I mean, like, because we know that Su Yung uses her clones. Like, let's say that we're in a situation and Su Yung has like 4 clones out, and let's say the clone, the powerful clone, like comes across, like they cross paths, and the clone Su Yung takes the clones that real Su Yung has made, and then takes all of their experiences and thus makes clone Su Yung even stronger. That's just the possibility that Su Yung would just lock herself out of being able to use her clones until she could subjugate clone Su Yung would be crazy. It would be crazy as hell. It really would be. That's just something to think about. It's something to think about. But the thing that I want to come back to that I put up here is talking about whenever it's like, we know that Su Yung eventually, day 49 of Omniscient Reader, making my brain hurt. We know eventually that Su Yung was going to become a character. Now that's a subject that we haven't broached since her introduction because of just the nature of where that story was, of having people that have read, like all the people that had read TWSA and knew what was going on and was omniscient and aware. Su Yung is seemingly one of like the last few individuals that have information left. And we know that Doksha can't stand his mom. And as much as he can't stand Su Yung, I'm not saying, like, he's warmed up to her at least. In the same way that he's warmed up to Jungyak in a way and warmed up to all his friends, he's warmed up to her too. And how is it going to be whenever we cross that threshold and she's not, but there's a lot that can happen. Maybe she can gain more information. We never know. But what if like we cross that threshold of her not being meta anymore? But it's like, the thought is, I do think before we get there, she's either going to die or she's going to find some way, whether it be these dreams, if they start happening again stronger, or something. She's going to find a way to stay omniscient. That's the best word I'll use. She'll find a way to stay omniscient. But like how would that, I would like to see it. Like how would Doksha react to that? Because it would be like he's losing an equal. He's losing someone that understands him, because nobody understands him. At this point in time, there's only 2 people that truly understand what he's going through, and he hates one of them. And the only other one, they bicker like a married couple. So like, what would it be like to like the only way I can think of it, and it's not the same, but it would be like watching like someone you care a lot about turn into a zombie in front of you. Like the moment where they die and then they reanimate and come back, and it's just like, you're not the same, you're gone. Right? You're gone. It was like she's still Su Yung. She would still have the same personality, but she's not aware anymore. It would be, you know what it would be similar? It would be similar to when we were in Peaceland and he was talking to Asuka and Asuka said something that was deleted out of probability, and he was like, what the, like, what'd you just say? And she's like, what do you mean what I just say? What did you just say? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And stuff just starts changing. He's just like, what the, it would be, I feel like it would be similar to that, where it's just like, like it would feel like something like that. Maybe not as dramatic as that, but like that feeling of she's gone. She's still here, but she's not her anymore. I would like to see him deal with that. Because if there would be no one else that's aware, he would truly be alone. If his relationship with his mom doesn't change, he would truly be alone. He would have no person to throw stuff up against the wall at. He wouldn't. He would. She's the only person in the squad who he's straight up to. Yeah, he doesn't. That is true. Shows sadness when he realized. Yeah, it shows fat. Yeah. Well, I feel like Doksha has a genuine affection for everyone in his team. Those relationship with Soo Young is on a different level because she's the only one Doksha can go to when talking about TWSA, right? And I feel like the moment of Doksha telling the truth of the world and his knowledge is something that has to happen. I feel like Fourth Wall would futz with his emotions at that point. Yeah, because I feel that could be like a big like reality breaking moment. That Fourth Wall would have to step in and calm him down. It was not probability. That doesn't make freaking things. It's just that being we don't know. Story passive. Remember, I am Doksha and Soo Young shipper. So I really hope that doesn't happen. If she becomes a character. Yeah. My thing is that we were just sitting here, right? We just were sitting here and we're talking about how everyone's become characters and this and that. I have all these weird analogies that I just be like pulling stuff from out of nowhere. And it makes sense to me, and sometimes it don't make sense to y'all. And I can't properly explain it, so people just think I'm talking out the side of my neck and I don't make sense. Going off what you said, Barry, what if he runs an experiment and he sits someone down and explains to them exactly what's happening and they become aware? They stop being a character. Could that be a possibility of them becoming aware and not being a character anymore and they turn back into a person? My analogy is, damn it, I forgot the name of the movie. Hold on, I'm about to hit y'all with it. It's something Land. It'll be easier to search for Paul Walker. Someone probably already knows what the movie is. I can't see chat right now, so excuse me. I need an IMDb, sir. What is it? What's the name of it? Pleasantville, right? That's the name of the movie? It is the name of the movie. Pleasantville. Excuse me. The comparison that I'm making is like Pleasantville. What's the difference between a character and a real person? I gave up on that thought whenever we were in that part. I never went back and thought about it. So I don't know. I feel like Sangha is the most likely for that. Yes. Maybe I'm not taking that topic so seriously because we saw real people become characters, so the other way around seems perfectly possible to me. Okay. Character profiles that happened in chapter 50s. Other readers tried to explain the characters that they were characters in the story, but they just ignored it like a joke, Ron. But that's a good point to bring up, but none of them have a relationship like Doksha has with his people. They trust him. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe there could be something there. that there could be something there. You never know. Meaning this character / real person topic is one of the biggest questions of the series. Doksha himself looked at Gil Young and Sangha instantly when he thought of that, but they are still considered as real people because he can't use character profiles on them, even though they know nothing about TWSA. I think that's because they might be individuals that are just like him. They never existed in TWSA, and now they do. That's what I think. I think they might have been fodderized. They might have been fodderized people. Or they're just people that he's carrying along that should not be here. That's why they're still identified as real people, but they're ignorant of what it is. So I feel like people like his team, people like a Sangha or Gil Young, you might be able to say this to them. Huan, maybe not because she was in the series, but maybe it could be like someone like Sangha who is technically a real person, doesn't have a character profile, but is ignorant of TWSA. Maybe they might have the perfect soil to be able to plant the seeds of you are in a story and this is X, Y, and Z, and he can explain it and maybe it could take root. But the comparison that I was making to Pleasantville, spoilers for this movie that is 30 years old at this point almost. Excuse me. But with Pleasantville, it was a movie set in the 90s, right? 90s or the 80s or 90s. Forgot. I think it's set in the 90s. And it's of a brother and a sister that are watching like an old 1950s sitcom. And they get pulled into the sitcom. And they live in the world. And the world is black and white. So they see the world as black and white and everything. And all that stuff. But they're aware of the world they came from. And they live in this world. But everyone acts like they're in this sitcom. So throughout the series, they like start bringing in like modern things and all this stuff. And the more they interact with the world starts turning to color. And people are like starting to become like aware and changing. And it like becomes, so it's like WandaVision in a sense, kind of. WandaVision could be like a cool way to connect it, like for you to understand a little bit. Yeah. So they like start understanding and characters start changing. And like the town's against it, and there's like people that are for it and people that are against it and all this stuff, like, and it's just how I'm looking at that. It's like the characters becoming aware, and it's a whole, like, it's a cool movie to watch. If you haven't seen it, it's an older movie, watch it. It's very fun. But it, like, the thought of like having characters turn into real people, possibly having some of them maybe turn into real people, just made me think of Pleasantville and just like that plot line of that and what it could be and how these characters would feel, right? And how they start, it's like their mindset would change because like in the movie, the characters acted like their sitcom version, but when they started to become aware, they changed. Like there was like a woman who like was written into like this relationship, and the relationship wasn't all that great, and she starts becoming aware. She falls in love with someone else, but I'm supposed to be married to my husband and this and that, but he doesn't care about this. So she like starts to hide it and stuff. And it's like, it's crazy. It's craziness. Like the main character, like it's supposed to be with this girl, but the girl that ends up coming into the series ends up falling for this guy and making him, it's all these crazy things. And it's like, so I'm like, we could have all of our characters and their personalities in the way they are. But if there's a possibility that we can make them aware, we can make them lucid, make them aware that they're in a series, would that change how they think? Because ultimately that would be giving them more agency. So it's like, would that change them? Would that? Could that? I don't know. Excuse me. He was just a character. Yeah, she was supposed to die, and she was supposed to die when we met her. Like when we met her, she was supposed to die. And he saved them. And he saved her. One is arguably the biggest anomaly that Doksha ever created. Hyewon and Namun being dead. Namun and Hyewon are the two biggest anomalies because Namun was supposed to be a huge player in what's going on, and he's non-existent now. And it's Namun being dead and Hyewon being here. And himself, right? And himself. Those are the three biggest. Him himself, he's the biggest anomaly. 1. 2 is Hyewon. 3 is the fact that Namun is dead. And Soo-young as well, because she knows so much information. So those are the biggest anomalies. And his mom, right? And his mom. Those are like the biggest anomalies. Also, yeah, you just said too, Soo-young as well. No, not Soo-young, Yoo-sung, because Jung-hyuk was supposed to kill her. She's supposed to die and she's still here. So it's like, those are like the biggest anomalies that are happening. All because of Doksha. But those are the biggest anomalies, 1000%. Man, we could sit here and we can sit here and talk about this stuff forever. He's reincarnating a bigger anomaly, and she possibly might be a Dokkaebi too. So it's like we don't know what the hell's going on. We don't know what she's gonna be. But it's crazy. It's craziness. So many anomalies. He's changing so much. But if there's a possibility of making these individuals like lucid, aware, that might change a lot. That might change a ton. Because a lot of the big players are the ones that are aware that we know of. Right? Dokes is a huge player. He's aware. His mom's doing a ton of stuff. She's aware. Su Young's aware. They do a lot of things that just go against the grain and throw monkey wrenches. Well, mom doesn't throw monkey wrenches. She's trying to keep things as similar as possible, so all the information she has is useful to her. Right? She's trying to keep things as similar as possible, so all of her information is valid. And Doksha's on a different path, and Su Young's just along for the ride. That's what it feels like. Man, we can talk about this forever. We'll read again because it got past you. So I have a theory that Sangha actually knows of TWSA. She just never read it. That's a good point. That could be possible. That might be like the fertile ground that if she was aware that TWSA was a thing, so she knows of it. She might not know the story, but she knows it exists. She never opened it. And he could be like, this series called TWSA, right? Exists, and this series is what's currently happening right now. That could be like the fertile ground of her being like, what do you mean? And her like acting just like how characters acted before when they were telling things. And it could just start to trigger, and she might actually just start to believe it. And it's like, then what? It's like he's starting to believe, like the Matrix. Theory crafting is fun when you look at this series. It is. I limit my theory crafting because I can't theory craft what the constellations and the star stream and all that. I just can't do it. My brain doesn't comprehend what goes on in the stratosphere up there. I just can't do it. So I don't even allow myself to theorize or theory craft about it. It escapes me. I feel stupid. Maybe she's the one at some point that brings up the Doksha and that forces him to tell the truth. As much as I love Doksha, I don't see him telling the truth to the group unless he has to. Good point. I agree as well. With that. I don't see him telling nobody. I'm gonna call it. I'm tired. It's 11. We've been here for an hour and a half. There's a sneaky hour and a half too. A real sneaky hour and a half. It's the satisfaction of actually predicting a story, and sometimes it's the bitterness of predicting something and getting smashed in the face later about this. Yeah. What Doksha becomes able to let someone else have a fourth wall and they stop being characters. Ooh. To give someone else a fourth wall, that's kind of crazy. But it's just like, ooh, that's actually a good thing. Because the fourth wall is what keeps him sane. So what if you give someone this knowledge that they're, wow, what if you give someone the knowledge that they are in a story and this isn't real, and they become self-aware, but they don't have the fourth wall to protect them, and they go freaking insane because it's too much? What if that happens and it's like he is explicitly responsible for this happening to this person because it's too much? They become Deadpool. Then I thought of another manga you might like besides from the greatest estate developer. It's one called Jungle Juice. Jungle Juice makes me think of college. Pretty much shonen but manhwa. Let me write it down. Jungle Juice just reminds me of college. Um, only thing I can really theorycraft with the constellations is that he's going to become a constellation and probably have a deeper connection with the constellations of the people in his group. That's just about it. That's about I'm right with that's just about it. I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else because this series has already mind boggled me about. The series has already mind boggled me about what are the 3 R's? Regression, reincarnation, and returnees. A returnee confuses me. It's still confusing. It's something that I think I understand, but I just don't bring it up because I don't feel like being stupid. But it's like the returnee is an individual that used to live on Earth, that was experiencing the scenarios, but then comes back and is really strong from their experiences on other planets. And it's like whatever the returnee was, it's just like, but the scenarios just started like 2 weeks ago. So where the hell did you come from? You didn't come from our Earth, did you? You came from another. It's right. It's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. I think if someone wants to become a real character, they have to defeat the 4th wall in a way you could call Doksha the 4th wall final boss. They would die. I don't see anyone beating the 4th wall because the 4th wall seems to know what's going to happen before it happens. And it'll probably become Yu Sung's constellation. Yeah, basically, dude gets sent to another world, gets OP, and once he's OP, he comes back to the OG world. He gets isekai'd, basically. Someone that got isekai'd and came back to their home. Returnee is like isekai'd boy, you return back to your origin. Returnee is basically an isekai protagonist after the isekai journey. Yeah, world after the fall. I think I wrote that one down. World after the fall. Jungle juice. Returning isekai protagonists come back from the isekai world. Yeah, the world after the fall is very cool reference to Omniscient. I think Alvaro showed me some stuff, right? From that, or is that another series? Yeah. I do just we said it at the same time, basically. Yeah, I've seen like a few panels of it. That's why I was like, that title reminded me of like it felt familiar. So it's like returnees are basically an isekai, regressor is Jeongyak, and reincarnation is Nirvana. Interesting. Excuse me. All right. I'm calling it here. I'm tired. I gotta get this edited. I read the first chapter of The World After the Fall. Honestly confused you a lot, and that's coming from an Omniscient reader fan. Yeah. I think if someone wants to become real from being a character, I think they would have to defeat. I read it. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys. I had responded to it. I was like, what I had said in response to it, I don't know if you had heard it, was what did I say? I said I feel like that would be very difficult to do because the 4th wall is omniscient. It knows what's going to happen before it happens. So I feel like it would be very difficult to defeat the 4th wall. Because the 4th wall was telling Nirvana what was going to happen to Nirvana before it happened. And that's something that was independent of Doksha. So it's just like, oh snap. And the thing to note is that in TWSA, Nirvana never had an interaction with Doksha. So how the hell was the 4th wall able to tell Nirvana what the hell was going to happen to him when that's not how Nirvana possibly died in TWSA? Right? So it's like, how the hell was the 4th wall able to do what it was able to do? when, according to TWSA and according to Doksha, this is something that's never happened before. Maybe it's just aware of the star stream and the constellations, and the fourth wall just has access to everything that has ever happened ever. And there is another universe out there where Doksha has went into the series and lived, and exactly what's happening now has happened before. And maybe the fourth wall can pull from that. Outside of that, I have no logical reason as to why the fourth wall was able to do what it did whenever we were in that mental mindscape and it deleted Nirvana. Don't know how. Can't explain it. Oh yeah, what do you think about the new Avatar webtoon? I had no idea it existed. I had no idea. None at all. What is it about? It sounds like the fourth wall is manipulating the story like fate. Yeah, it does. It does. What did the fourth wall say? The fourth wall said that it looks at Doksha, and I always get the word mixed up. It's not envy. It looks at Doksha with, damn it. It looks at Doksha with admiration. No, it looks at Doksha with, that's wrong. Where is it? That's too. It looks at Doksha. It smiles contently. It looks at you with a covetous gaze. There it is. Looks at you with a covetous gaze. That's one. I'm still that the fact a covetous gaze. It covets Doksha. Do you know what covet means? That's not what covet means. I initially thought it was like to consume him or become him, but it covets Doksha. To covet something is like you have a prized possession, right? And you show me your prized possession, and now I want your prized possession, and I'll do anything to get it from you. Right? I'll do anything to get it from you. That's honestly what covetous is. So like for the fourth wall to look at Doksha with a covetous gaze, it's like, what could the fourth wall be coveting from Doksha? That seems crazy. Like, what could it cut? Like, what does it want from him? Basically looking at him with greed. It's just like, does the fourth wall want to take his place? It's like, I'm looking at it, and what it feels like, honestly, what my thoughts of it is that Doksha is giving the fourth wall an experience that it's giving it an experience that's like unprecedented. Like, damn, I get to go along for this ride? I don't know. It's just like, it's like, that's where my brain goes. It's like, man. It's like, we don't know what the fourth wall is. The fourth wall could be just a partition between Doksha and another entity. Like, maybe the fourth wall isn't an entity itself, but the fourth wall is just a partition between Doksha and something else, right? And it's like, oh, the fourth wall is just some sort of entity. It's like, no, there's actually like a person behind it. Like, the fourth wall isn't a being itself, but it's something that's in between Doksha and something. I don't know. What if this is some super meta thing? Because we know that seemingly the author of TWSA, now this, my brain's just going to overdrive. I'm getting out of here. The author of TWSA seemingly gave Doksha the manifesto, gave Doksha the series to be able to go through you know what I'm trying to say? moving past that, what if the fourth wall is just a partition between Doksha and the author of TWSA, and the author just wants another story, and Doksha is his vessel to give him another story that he possibly can't come up with himself. So the only other person that cared as much as a damn story as him or her, or whoever it is the only person that read it and is like, here you go, here, and let me view this through you. And I get another story, another experience, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know. What if it's something like that? Maybe like the existence itself. Just we were discussing about how other Yusung might try to devour the original to take her place. Probably not become him, so wants his story and wants something from him, not wants him. Still have a theory that the fourth wall is just a darker part of Doksha's subconscious, possibly. Doksha himself explained that Ron may like the author didn't but couldn't change it himself. This could be like the author was shoehorned into writing it a certain way and doesn't like it and has found a way to, I don't know. I need to get out of here. My brain's going crazy. Too many comparisons. Now I'm thinking, what if this is something similar or something akin? And this is my only stab at trying to. It's my only stab at trying to be big brain and pulling away from the planet, because it's like you have the planet, and the planet is under these scenarios, and these scenarios are applied by the star stream, and the star stream seems to be this multiversal thing that affects seemingly everything, and things that we think are myth are not myth, things that we don't know is true or not are real. Somewhere in some universe, somehow, some way, it's real. And all of these things on a certain plane of existence can interact with each other. My brain just... But the thing that you have to think about is, in the context of Doksha's life, all of this multiversal stuff was written by one person. Right? One person seemingly created this idea and wrote it down. So it's like some person wrote this story and it turns into this multiversal story that then ends up roping back down onto planet Earth, where we are with the main character. And part of me is like, could this be the thing that popped into my brain is like the architect from the Matrix. And we know that the architect designs it, writes this story, explains it, and the one comes along and is supposed to be the individual that resets it so that we can redo everything over in the Matrix again. But Neo decides not to reset it, but to move forward. And instead of doing the cycle all over again, we move forward past it, and like new ground has been broken. So part of me is like, could the author be like the architect and has written the story, and the story just constantly loops? Because looping was a theory we came up with before of maybe secretive plotter is Doksha that tried to do this before, gets to the end of the story, isn't happy with the outcome, starts it over, and then gives himself access to the story again and gives himself another chance. And we just keep doing this damn loop over and over where Doksha's never satisfied with the ending of the story and keeps restarting everything and giving everything back to himself so that he could go through it again. And it's like, what if like the architect is this person that has created the story, and the story just is a loop, and it is a loop, and it is a loop, and Doksha is the individual that is going to break the loop and move it past this continual loop. My theory starts to fall apart because it's just like, I don't know where to take it next. I just have ideas. I don't know where to go with it because my brain starts, it's just like I can't grasp it. But it's like, it's something like that where it's, I don't even know. I feel like I'm not even making sense anymore. I feel like I'm not even making sense anymore. But that, it's just, that's what I feel like it could be something as meta as that. I don't know. I have no idea. Classic looping excuse. Many things in universe is normally in a cycle. From Big Bang to water cycle. Yeah. Well, in that case, you could say it was never about the ending, but about how you arrived at it, your friends, etc. It could be that. Basically, just what came out first, Starstream or DWSA. Right. Right. It's just like, what was first? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm ending it there because I wanted to end a while ago. So I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're not making it as long. Nothing is first if it is in a circle. No. I appreciate you guys. I really do. We're not making it as long as last week. Last week was like 2.5 hours. This one's just under two. But I appreciate you guys. If I don't see you for the rest of the week, have a good rest of your week. If I don't see you this weekend, have a good weekend. And hopefully, God willing, I see you guys right back here for 190. I never updated this. Damn it. I never updated this. It's supposed to be 196. See you back here for 197. So have a good one. I appreciate you, and I'll see you. Peace out.